This is the afternoon weather briefing. This is for Tuesday, the 24th of June. This is James Spann. Alabama's weather, hot and humid, and a few storms around. Must be a summer day. Let's go right to the radar. And we are live this afternoon at 2:52. And really not much as I'm speaking to you. We note a few scattered showers, very widely scattered showers across the northeastern part of the state. Got a pretty decent downpour sitting on the Marshall-DeKalb County line, little to the northeast of Albertville, south of Lake Guntersville. Got a shower just south of New Hope on the Tennessee River. Got a shower that is sitting around south side in Rainbow City, south of Gadsden. And again, that's really about it for the northern half of the state. Got a couple of showers. I see one up around Athens up in Limestone County. Let's go down to the south, and things are very calm for the most part. We note one decent storm kind of riding along Interstate 10. And again, keep in mind today, the storms are moving westward. They're following the circulation of the upper high, the clockwise circulation of the upper high north of the state. So a few scattered storms over Baldwin County. Again, coming right down Interstate 10, down toward Loxley. A couple of showers to the northeast of Pensacola. And in the southeastern corner of the state, I just don't have anything to show. Nothing in the way of cooling showers for places like Dothan and Ozark, Enterprise. And like almost every day in the summer, most of these are driven by the daytime heating process, meaning the showers will fade once the sun goes down later this evening. And probably we'll see the same type thing tomorrow. Storms could be a little more numerous tomorrow. But here's the deal. This is the map that really tells the story this time of the year, the upper air maps. Surface maps aren't that much of a help, but you can clearly see that large upper high stretched out from Arkansas, Mississippi, and Missouri up into New England. And that's the center of the heat. And while the east is in the hot air, back in the western states, they have the trough. They're seeing temperatures below average. High amplitude pattern. But with time, the upper high will be weakening, which will mean heat levels slowly coming down, coverage of afternoon storms gradually going up late this weekend over the weekend. Visible satellite view, classic summer look, got a field of cumulus clouds across the state. And at the time that image was made, there's that one convective pocket you can see up near Guntersville, up in Marshall County, but most of the state dry. There's the radar composite. And showers very isolated today. Let's check the heat levels, mostly low 90s. And if you're new here, this is not unusual. We're low 90s. That's just what happens here in summertime. Birmingham at 92, Anniston 91, Tuscaloosa 93. We've got 93 for Huntsville and Montgomery. Hot spot on the board, Dothan, Wiregrass 94, Mobile at 91. And again, understand all of Alabama is hot. These maps can be a little confusing. You're seeing orange counties highlighted for the northern two-thirds of the state. No counties highlighted in South Alabama. And this is a heat advisory. And this is a Weather Service criteria thing where they think the heat index might touch 105 in spots. But I know, if you're in Greenville, Camden, Monroeville, Atmore, Andalusia, Dothan, Mobile, it's hot. It's hot statewide. We've got heat advisory stretched out from Louisiana and Arkansas into New England. Flash flood watches for much of New Mexico down into West Texas around El Paso. A severe thunderstorm watch a little northeast of Denver in Colorado. Here's the severe weather outlook for the rest of today and tonight. We have a risk defined from eastern Wyoming and northeastern Colorado into northern New England. This is tomorrow. Risks from the high plains to the upper Atlantic coast and in Alabama. We have a risk of severe storms defined for a pretty good chunk of the state. The level 2 out of 5 risk covers parts of east and south Alabama. A level 1 out of 5 risk up to Huntsville and Jasper and Millport. And this is mainly because of very high instability values. And understand every summer day the instability values are high, but there's not much in the way of wind dynamics to create severe weather problems. But with the very high instability values, SPC is a little concerned. There could be a few storms that produce wet microbursts, local areas of strong straight-line winds. There's no risk of tornadoes. So just keep in mind when the storms do form tomorrow, they could be strong, but not raining everywhere. And quite frankly, the same thing on day 3, which is Thursday. A marginal risk over much of the state. There's a look at the broader risk around the nation on Thursday. Marginal risks from Alabama up into the D.C., Baltimore area. Also from near Wichita to near Detroit, including Chicago and Des Moines. And a small marginal risk over parts of Montana and North Dakota. And on day 4, which is Friday, got a risk of severe storms defined from northern Nebraska up through parts of the Dakotas. We'll check the rain for the next 7 days, valid through Tuesday morning of next week. And remember, these maps are somewhat challenging this time of the year because of the way the storms fire. They're just random. You might get 2 inches. Your neighbor down the road gets nothing. On an average basis, rain amounts 1 inch for the northern half of the state, 1 to 2 inches for South Alabama. And by golly, NHC named that thing, that little disturbance out in the middle of nowhere. And you can see that the Atlantic Basin is just dead except for that little swirl. And somebody decided to name it Tropical Storm Andrea. And this is a short-lived junk system in that it will not last past tomorrow morning. It will not affect any landmass, not even remotely close to any landmass. And the winds are only 40 miles an hour. And, of course, that's satellite estimated. So, again, junk out there. This would never be named 30, 40 years ago. And I'm not saying it's not a minimal tropical storm. It's just that 30 or 40 years ago, we didn't have the high-resolution satellite images to see these kind of things. But, again, the key message here is the fact that the Atlantic Basin is really calm. No hurricanes or tropical storms other than that junk system that will be gone tomorrow morning. So if you're headed to the beach, no concerns with hurricanes. All right, model fans, let's go GFS. 12Z run, 4 o'clock tomorrow. The upper high beginning to weaken. The heights come down a smidgen. Understand it's still going to be hot. And again, that's the synoptic scale. Let's go to the high-resolution HERD. This is valid tomorrow afternoon at 5. And again, you can see it like today. Storms are going to be isolated. But where they do form, they could be strong, maybe some strong gusty winds, so keep that in mind. And really, with all summer storms, you know the deal. The main concern is lightning. Lightning is frightening. When you hear thunder, get in. Forget about the 8-mile rule. And again, mid-90s tomorrow. And then after that, heat levels just slowly begin to creep down. This is Thursday. The upper high begins to weaken. The afternoon storms will likely increase. This is Friday, morning sun, afternoon storms in scattered spots, the high close to 90. And that's the idea for the weekend. This is Saturday and this is Sunday. On both days, highs upper 80s, low 90s, a mix of sun and clouds with scattered afternoon and evening showers and storms, most of them coming between about 1 and 9 o'clock. And odds of any one spot getting hit by the weekend, 50 to 60%. Pretty much the same thing on Monday, and this is a week from today, Tuesday, the 1st of July. Getting close to the 4th of July weekend, and again, you see the big upper high is pretty much gone, just a flat ridge, and again, that's old standard summertime weather. Highs probably upper 80s with a few afternoon storms around. Let's keep going. This is 10 days out. This is Friday, the 4th of July. It's Independence Day. Look in the Northeast. You know, they got the big upper high, the heat now. Well, they got a trough as the 4th of July weekend begins up there, coming into New York City and Boston. Down here, just a flat ridge. And again, it's just like good old standard summertime weather. Hot, humid, and really not that bad. Upper 80s. And a few scattered afternoon storms, and most likely that'll be the case for the 4th of July weekend. Rain for Birmingham coming off the European ensemble. The mean up there in the 2 to 3 inch range between now and the 9th of July. Temperatures off the NBM National Blend of Models. We've got mid-90s tomorrow, then low 90s on Thursday, then highs around 90 for the weekend, and then upper 80s for much of next week. And just in the new 8 to 14-day guidance, this is for July 2nd through July 8th. Temperatures a little above average, but there's no sign of any really intense, nasty type heat here. And hey, look what's back. The Children's of Alabama Kid Cam. It's time for the summer programs. Bring them on down in Perry County today in Marion, Perry County Public Library. Good group of kids and adults. And look at the cake. I love that cake. That's actually a couple of pages out of our Benny and Chipper series book for kids. That's outstanding. Wow. The cake game is back and it's strong, but those kids were great today. Did some storm spotting. Got some new storm spotters in Perry County today. But great to see all the moms, dads, everybody that came out to see us. So thanks to everybody in Marion, Perry County for a great visit earlier today. So tomorrow, going to be in Leeds, being a program for their library there, and the program itself will not be at the traditional library building right there in the main Dragon Leeds on Highway 78. It's going to be on Thornton Avenue, and that will be at 9 o'clock in Leeds tomorrow. Thursday, got a 3-for-1 special. Going to be at First Baptist Church, Alexander City, for their summer program for kids. And then I'll be speaking to the City of Gardendale employees at midday tomorrow, a luncheon. And then I will be at Bumpus Middle School in Hoover for Camp Legacy, a program there for kids put on by Hoover Police. Friday, Helena Riverside Summer Camp at Riverside Baptist Church. And then after that, I'll be at Thompson High School for a camp journey. That's a program for kids put on by the Shelby County Sheriff's Department. So again, we are wall-to-wall with summer programs. And of course, hey, we invite you to watch us on television this evening, right across the hall, Studio A, ABC 3340 News. Thanks for watching. Have a marvelous evening, and God bless.